Ladies and gentlemen, I am very excited to bring to you this finals of the DominateDominion.com League of Legends Dominion Tournament number 64. As you can see, this finals is made up of two teams that are not Pays Evelyn Child Support or Clueless. This is the team FatMii 2 Heavy's first ever appearance in a finals of the DominateDominion Tournament. Cheese Enema also returning to the finals after they sometimes appear in the finals, but they've generally been third place hero a lot of the time. So it's very exciting to see Cheese Enema back in the finals. They're a team that I really enjoy casting, and I'm really interested to see how FatMii 2 Heavy's team will do in a best-of-3 environment. The bans, Zyra, Wukong, Jace, and Caston. Caston, high mobility, long duration silence, great chase and escape. Zyra, amazing zoning ability, lot of damage, lots of AoE. Wukong, great initiate, armor reduction, AoE airborne. It's good for the whole team. And then Jace, long range poke, durable character. You can't really kite him because he can just turn a gun for him and shoot you. He's a good brawler on top of that. So all very solid bans. The reason you ban Wukong is specifically because you can't really stop him from delivering what he wants to deliver. He wants to go in, he wants to put the armor reduction on someone, and then airborne everyone. You can only stop him from doing that if you ban him, because that's how he opens up the fight, you know? 10 bans in this format that we do. We do 4 in the pre-game lobby that you saw, and we do an additional 6 here at the Champion Select screen. Evelyn is a fast character, does a lot of magic damage. She makes for a great gank. Kha'Zix, also about Evelyn, she puts the bottom lane in a constant state of fear, because you never know when Evelyn is going to come down there to kill you. So extending past that middle point in the bottom lane, it's pretty scary. Kha'Zix, he can front load so much damage that he either kills someone or forces them out of the fight. Because of that, he's great. And the thing is, you gotta ban him, because he will do that damage up front, and then you respond to him after the damage is already dealt. So his job is completed by the time you're responding to him. Nidalee has a lot of the same thing going on. Nidalee can deliver what she's set out to do before you can kill her. To kill her, you have to go through her spears, and she has traps on the map that are giving vision. Even while she's dead, they can proc. The only way to deal with that is to ban Nidalee. Lulu, amazing support. She tends to hang back very safely and buff her allies and debuff enemies. And just the fact that she can do it so safely is what makes her a ban, because you're not going to be able to get her to stop her from doing that. It's so difficult to do that. Amumu. Amumu's just really hard to kill and has a lot of AoE damage. That's one of the reasons he gets banned so much. Plus, Banish Toss is actually pretty spammy, and that's a stun, so it's icky. And the last ban is going to be a blank space, because you don't want any uncertainty in your game, so you want to make sure to get rid of it. Oh, wait, never mind. They changed that ban to Kale instead of a blank space. Kale is a character. Imagine having a ranged AD carry like Ezreal or Ashe or anyone. Now imagine they hit your entire team at the same time. That's what Kale's capable of. Yeah.
And shred your stats.
Kale disrobes and destroys. A friend of mine once put it.
Hey, summoner blockers.
Kale will strip off your armor and MR and leave you defenseless against the onslaught of her team. Or the onslaught of shadows, if there's a Hecarim on that team.
So Annie, this time being stolen away from FatMii 2 Heavy. They did run Annie in the last 2 games, so we'll not be able to have that AoE summon Tibbers. And might go for Talon. I want to say that they had Talon. I know there were Talons. There have been Talons and Elises.
We're seeing Elise and Talon. Talon's character's had a lot of representation in Dominion competition. His silence is awesome. Cutthroat and Shadow Assault, able to be the combined use of those, such a large gap closer, and Talon can do a lot of damage. The thing is, once Talon reveals himself, he is very vulnerable to counterattacking. So if you can live through that initial burst, and you have a teammate with you, and that teammate has a CC, or is a support like Lulu, or Janna, even, you can help survive Talon. But if you don't have either one of those around you, your destruction is usually imminent. And Elise is a durable AP character. That's a stun and spiders.
And if Talon is a core part of your composition, I mean, in addition to Lulu being a typical ban because she's so ridiculously strong, it's a good idea to ban Lulu because she does have that stealth reveal. And if you're Talon and you're visible during your Shadow Assault, you're actually probably going to die before you can get the extra damage because you are extremely squishy and you really rely on having that stealth in order to survive. And so definitely, I would not be surprised to see. Last game we did see. Who was it? Whoever was playing Xin did open with the Gretzes. Wouldn't be surprising to see an early Gretzes against the Shadow Solid Talon. Want to have that before he's level 6. But a bit of the same composition that FatMii was running last game is what Enema is running this game with Jarvan and Annie also picking up Xin. So they have a good amount of peel with a lot of crowd control from Annie when she has her stun up, and then of course the I guess effective crowd control from Jarvan when he puts his Cataclysm down, and then the Crescent Sweep from Xin. So whoever they pick as their last 2 champions will be able to be peeled for quite a bit in team fights.
2 more players to highlight. MKH and Corval. What are they going to pick?
So Sedrani and Trundle, they ran Sedrani last game. They didn't run it in their first game that we cast. I'm not sure if it was banned or if they just decided they didn't want Sedrani in that composition. But Sedrani did wonders last game. She had a great Glacial Prison to save the windmill one time when I believe Jarvan suicided to buy a little bit of time, or no, someone suicided to buy a little bit of time, then Jarvan came in, almost died. Sedrani came in with a great Glacial Prison, and it was just barely enough. Got in with a Fortify also, and they were able to save the windmill. So making great use of that pick. And then Trundle, of course, is a great duelist. His Subjugate, his ultimate, makes him fantastic at 1v1ing, and it is Diana and Brand, so 2 AP champions picked up here for Enema, a 3 AP composition for them.
Diana is run very often as a bottom lane hero, champion, protector, you know what I mean, character. So wouldn't be surprised to see Diana down there, but who else could? Well, they have a lot of AP. It'll probably be Diana down there. And Brand. Brand is an amazing pick in Dominion if you are a Brand player. Good, because he can zone really hard. The enemy team does not want to get near each other because they don't want to chain pyroclasms around. They don't want to get near each other because Pillar of Flame. You have a stun. You have percent damage. If you get Blackfire Torch, you have percent damage with percent damage. Brand's great. He does suffer from not having an escape. If you can get to Brand can usually die, but by then most of his damage has gone off already. And if you do dive Brand in a group like that, you're going to get Pillar of Flame Pyroclasm combo, and it's going to be bad. Really bad. Like, burn the world bad. So be careful of that. Over on the other side, FatMii 2 Heavy's team. Looks like they're going to round out with Gragas. Last pick, it looks like. Goldjet 30s, good Gragas player. Probably going to see that down the bottom lane. That's typically what we see out of him.
It was... I don't recall if it was banned. I don't know if Hazel and Child Sport banned it against him, but he did a fantastic job of playing Gragas in the first game. Did a great job of roaming up, so definitely expect Goldjet to be joining those mid-area team fights from the bot lane, just body slamming his way to close the gap a little bit faster, and then just doing huge amounts of damage with his barrel rolls and explosive casks.
Look at these 2 teams. I'm also watching the countdown so I can know when I can pull off the summoner blockers. Hey, Ezreal free week. What? Everybody out there watching the show right now, play Ezreal this week. Ezreal is an amazing ranged AD carry, and he's free right now. Go play around with that. He's an excellent character on Dominion, and I feel like I don't see him enough. So, he's my least favorite character in the game, actually, which must mean that he's pretty good. And also, Atrox, also free. So, if you want to give the new champ a try, there you go. We should do a free week review every week. If it didn't come at the end of the week, that would be great.
We should do a scrim where you're only allowed to play the 10 free week champions.
Ooh. So this is what I like about RheingoldRiver. She casts themed games like that and runs themed games like that, and they are really cool.
I was actually supposed to do one tomorrow, but then we forgot to announce it, so I guess we'll do the next one next week.
Just do it tomorrow anyway, and just take whoever can show up. Small stream.
Maybe, we'll see.
Just throw it on your own channel. Why not?
I always do it on my own channel. What?
There you go. I didn't know if I forgot if you were doing it for an organization or not. Because I know you've worked for a couple different people before.
Yeah. I actually almost never stream on my own channel. Well, that's not true. I stream a lot on my own channel. I never cast on my own channel.
That's a better way to phrase it. So look at these two team comps. I see 3 Magic over on one side. I see 1 on the other side, because Gold just could be down the bottom. Unless maybe they put Trundle down there.
It's definitely gonna be.
It's probably gonna be Gragas. FatMii played Sejuani last game, but I don't know how I feel about it, because I didn't think he did anything particularly amazing with Sejuani. His J4 was pretty good in the round of 8 game. Like, I actually liked that. But against Cheese Enema, I'm not sure. I think Cheese Enema can deal with that. Now, they did go through Payzone and Child Support to get here, which is damn impressive. And I just don't know. I just don't know about Sejuani. Sejuani is a great character, but I hope that he can deploy it effectively against Cheese Enema's comp.
So yeah, no, the Serenity actually did pretty well. Like there were a lot of really good Glacial Prisons, and it's a very good AoE CC ult. They weren't able to get Annie, so they're not going to have that dual AoE stun, dual ult thing that they had going on for them last game. I feel like Trundle is actually what's replacing Annie in their comp from. Well, I guess it's more the Elise that's replacing the Annie. So Elise will be able to land a very easy cocoon, but that's not quite the same sort of AoE CC. But the thing is, if you can get everyone stuck in a Glacial Prison, and then Talon can get his Shadow Assault through everyone, it's a lot of damage. And after that happens, you can just throw a Gragas Barrel on top of everyone. Well, a Gragas Barrel and then an Exploding Cask, and...
Hello, Pylair. Welcome to Bizarro World Dominion, where Payzone and Child Support and Clueless were both eliminated in a best of 1 in the round of 4. And now we have FatMii 2 Heavy versus Cheese Enema in the finals. Welcome to an alternate reality. Loading into the game now. This is going to be game 1 of the finals. Cheese Enema versus FatMii 2 Heavy. FatMii 2 Heavy's first ever appearance in the finals. And welcoming back Cheese Enema to the same position. Cheese Enema having taken out Clueless to get here, and FatMii 2 Heavy's team having defeated Pays Evelyn Child Support in order to arrive here in the finals. So this will be a very interesting match for me to watch. I am % hype for casting this. The top team is going to be Cheese Enema, Lurch playing as Brand, Krog playing as Diana, Shabazz Obama playing as Jarvan IV, MKH playing as Zinzao, and Coravel playing as Annie. I am one half of your casters. I am Gandair, and casting with me is...
I am RheingoldRiver, and your other team is going to be FatMii 2 Heavy. You saw them take down Payzone and Child Support in the last game. Now playing a best of 3 against Cheese Enema. Can they take the entire tournament? It is FatMii himself on Sejuani once again. Moral Sinistral on Talon. Shogun playing Elise. Chronic and Gina playing Trundle. And rounding out their composition once again on Gragas and once again in the bot lane, it is Goldjet 30.
And for those of you new to the broadcast, we are DominateDominion.com. We do this tournament every week. It's free to play in. You can bring your friends, come out and play. If you were going to play Dominion anyway, why not have a chance at winning some RP? Maybe get your game cast by us. Take a look at the make sure to turn KDA on. Take a look at who's picking what spells first.
Wait.
What?
Do what now?
Wait, what?
How do you turn the KDA on?
You click the button.
What?
At the bottom. What? Okay, oh, that's right, you don't cast this as often as I do. Okay, the interface in the bottom, do you see where there's a button that's like green?
I see it.
Yeah. There you go.
I spent so long that game trying to figure out how on earth you figured out how many kills Katarina had.
I counted.
I was like,
you should have asked during the game, because it would have said I counted. I just keep count. Why? You don't keep count? I thought all casters just did that. I was gonna try and troll you really hard with it, but
I had no idea. I was just like trying. I kept pressing tab, and I was like, no, that just gets rid of the menu. There has to be some menu I'm missing here. All right.
I can make just this part go away, guys. I didn't know that.
GG. GG. So is Diana going to be bought against Gragas, which is pretty much what we did expect to see.
Alright, look at the starting items. Boots, Prospector's items, nothing that looks too out of the ordinary except for Xin Zhao, who has a longsword early. Could be going for an early Brutalizer, or
I want to
could be going for the Grezes. Yeah, probably going for the Grezes.
Early Grezes because they really want that against Talon as soon as he's level 6. So this windmill fight starts out a lot earlier, and it's Choose Enema that is aggressing. Moral Neutral very, very low. He's going to be the first blood there, going over to Xin Zhao. Actually, he gets the first blood.
Maloko, kill that Link.
And there is a stun from Annie onto several people there. A little bit more damage from her with that Disintegrate. Both teams trading back and forth. Who is capturing? And Annie gets knocked up a little bit. Gonna get jumped on by the repel from Elise. And Draven's surviving for a huge amount of time. Xin Zhao has returned to the fight after the revive. There's the rake across onto Coravel. Talon gets knocked up. And Gina trying to capture a little bit. But Annie, great job getting several kills there. I want to say she got 3, 2 of which were double kill at the end. And it is going to be Cheese Enema capturing the windmill and winning this first fight.
Chronic and Gina falling away from the point, having to go ahead and recall. Cheese Enema in control of the top point for now. At least still alive. Z Shogun hanging out in the middle of the map, scouting out for the enemy team. Don't quite know if he got Vision of Brand there or not. Jarvan checking it with the standard, and Spiderling being used also to scout down the bottom lane. Goldjet falling back away from the point, having pushed the minions up. Diana having to deal with those. Center of the map, Xin Zhao is going to try for the Storm Shield. No! Spiders! Xin Zhao! Xin Zhao is going to be okay, but he's not going to be able to secure that at the moment. And he wants that. You want that increased health. You want that damage shield. You want that damage from that Storm Shield because it contributes a significant amount of extra pain.
Ganking bot onto Diana here. The body slam doesn't hit. There's the explosive cast, knocking her away. Great job by Talon. They're taking a lot of damage from the creeps, and the creeps will kill her. And I seem to remember a flowchart about going bot when you can't go top. They seem to have memorized it perfectly. MMKH in the middle does not seem to quite understand, and he is going to die there. FatMii picking up that kill.
Coincidentally, MMKH made the flowchart.
GG.
Unfortunately, being caught in the middle of the map, though, really trying to secure that Storm Shield for his team, was not able to do so. And in the process of losing that fight, gave the Storm Shield up to the other team. Z Shogun's Elise was able to pick that up. Chavez Obama up at the top of the map, by himself, not going to be able to defend this very well, unfortunately. He does have a defensive garrison. Is Annie going to be able to get here in time with Brand?
I don't think so. Great ultimate coming down from Sejuani. The Pyroclasm hits almost everyone. Actually, it hit all of its bounces, hitting almost everyone. They will be able to reclaim the windmill ultimately. There's a good repel from from Elise, and Annie just not quite tanky enough to survive. But I really do want to say that the difference in this windmill fight from the last one was which team had the Annie. And Annie is just so good in that first fight with the AoE stun that she can get off her Incinerate. Just doing a lot of damage, and then her Molten Shield really should not be underestimated when auto attacks mean so very much on everyone in that first level 3 fight. And Annie being on the side opposite FatMii 2 Heavy was much harder for them to win the first fight, and in fact made it unable for them to do so.
Stun on Chronic Angina takes some damage there. The Seer misses, so does not get the extra stun from that. Annie pursuing them, checks with Incinerate, finds nothing.
Bot lane, Diana being taken out by Goldjet and Sinstrel there. They get the kill. Annie and Draven are on their way down, and looks like Talon and Gragas do not want to be ganked from behind. Well, maybe they do.
We'll see how this plays out. Tibbers immediately airborne from Jarvan, quickly cleaning up the mess that was left on the window by the enemy team. They're going to go straight across for the Boneyard, which is the quest objective point. And Trundle is going to turn around to help deal with that. The top, Z Shogun taking a lot of damage, is going to be forced away. Point has become neutral. MKH and Lurch looking good on health and mana for now. But Z Shogun has a full bar of mana and can contribute a lot to this. The Spiderling not hitting for too much yet. Still early on in the game. At least only has Guy's components at the moment. So she doesn't even have her pen going for her. Once she does, though, you expect to see her damage output go up significantly.
Yeah, absolutely. Pen is so good on Elise, definitely going to be wanting to get that early Blackfire Torch as soon as she can. And CDR, and I think it gives CDR, right?
Yes.
And
CDR, health, 100% dot. Chronic Angina being
getting
stunned.
onto Trundle. There's an exhaust onto Talon. He wants to wait for the duration before he uses his Shadow Assault, which he does. Pyroclasm is going to get all of his bounces off and just melt through everyone, and he actually steals away the kill onto Talon there. Exhaust onto Angina, and FatMii trying to chase also. Annie steals away the health pack from Sejuani there. Elise gets the kill onto Brand, starts capping. Sejuani now just wants to delay everyone. Good stun there onto Annie, and Gragas coming around the backside. They're gonna be giving up the bot and the quest objective, but it looks like they should be able to get the windmill. Chavez Obama actually gonna survive there for a little bit longer, but there's no way he's gonna get out of here alive. And there's the barrel roll, which will be his demise. They get the neutralize and the cap on bot lane.
Oh, Lurch going for the interrupt and using Pillar of Flame instead of something more instant like Conflag. Unfortunate. Sejuani was able to escape.
Anyway, I'm pretty sure. Because if you take damage in the last half second of your channel, you still get out.
Oh.
It can kill you, but you still get out if you weren't dying. Gragas fighting MMKH in the top lane, gonna get knocked up a little bit by that 3 Talon strike, and Sejuani is here, which is what he was waiting for. Gets a knock up on the Arctic, is following exhaust onto Brent. Talon doing a lot of damage to Gragas there. He tries to heal a little bit, but he's not going to be able to. And MMKH actually gets a knock-up onto Sejuani, which is going to allow him to survive for a little bit longer. There's a stun from Annie, and Annie is so good. FatMii tries to live, cannot do so. And Xinjiao recalls, gets back. 3 members are bot lane right now for FatMii, and it looks like it's going to be up to Talon to recap the point.
Talon taking that back. Over on the other side, Xin Zhao by himself. He sees Elise down there. They don't know where Trundle is. They know Trundle exists, though, because anyone can hit the tab key and find out who's on the enemy team. Chavez Obama is going to be able to secure the Storm Shield for his team. Chronic Angina catches him with the pillars. The Shogun coming up. Stun connects. So does the Spiderling. Jarvan has to dash out and is able to escape.
So Jarvan actually dashing out means that when the rest of his team comes, he is not here to continue fighting. Gragas with a body slam dodges the Pillar Flame also, and Annie is CC'd for days and going to die also. Good Pyroclasm from Brand while everyone was grouped. Is going to do quite a bit of damage. Diana is here, but I don't know if she wants to be. Gets knocked up by Sejuani. Good stun from Brand with that Seer. Gragas now getting the slowdown. Diana actually dove back, which made her get a kill. I thought it was going to be bad, but it's actually good. Jarvan now might be a little bit caught in between people, but he is very, very healthy. And Trundle trying to capture the point. Sejuani on the other side. Storm Shield is available on Chavez, is up actually on Chavez Obama. There's a knockup from Arctic Assault. EQ to get away. And I really don't think that FatMii Too Heavy wants to be here right now. I think they want to be somewhere that is very, very far away. As there is Brand, Pillar Flame dodged out. Pillar of Ice comes down. Glacial Prison. And it looks like Angina is going to be sacrificed here.
FatMii throwing the ultimate away to try and save Trundle, not able to do so, unfortunately. It looks like they had that sense that you had, Rheingold, where they say, hey, we should probably leave now because something horrible is going to happen. But they didn't quite have it trigger early enough to save them. They almost got out of there. It was very narrow.
I think that me having global vision of the minimap might have helped a little bit.
It's true. Wish I could have that in every game. Chavez Obama. Oh, the CV! Hello, everyone. How you doing?
I'm just gonna run away screaming for now, if that's okay with you.
Oh, there's a giant eyeball in the air. Run! Moral Snitchel being chased by MKH. Takes some damage. Gets further away by the second. Is able to outrun Xin Zhao. Diana in the bottom lane. Still pushing up against Gragas. Might have an engagement over here by the Speed Shrine. MKH sees FatMii and doesn't want any of Piggy Piggy. He's gonna dash forward.
Doesn't quite get the knockup though, and without the knockup, they really can't catch onto Xin. And he's here, gets a stun onto Talon. Lock of there and Solari pop. There's an exhaust and a knockup. Elise is here, still in human form for just a little bit longer. Explosive cast actually disengages the fight. And good split of the Pyroclasm. Should have been maybe a little bit. There's the repel. Oh no, who are you going to repel to? Probably to Annie and get out. No, actually going to repel to the other side of the fight. Gets a stun down. Going into spider form is not going to save her, and she is going to die. Grag is probably also going to die as the Cataclysm comes down. And he almost walks out of it, but not quite.
Jeez, Enema sweeping across the map now.
Yeah.
They're going to get the neutral on the Boneyard. They're going to turn that around. However, top is completely open. They can't quite get there quick enough. Soon to be a 3.5 cap, though, once Trundle gets to this top point. They may be able to stop it from going neutral if they're quick about it. But no, Xin is not heading that way. It's just Annie. I don't think Annie can get there quick enough. We'll see.
A little bit. There's the cutthroat from Talon. Can actually
the minions are going to have this.
Yeah,
maybe.
So
nope.
Not quite good damage from Annie clears out the rest of the wave, and that probably is going to save the point from being recapped. Exhaust on a Trundle, and he is surely going to go down here in just a few seconds. Well, several seconds, because he's Trundle. Actually, Talon comes and gets a rake across onto Annie, gets one kill, and Sidrani is here. How did I doubt Chronic and China at all in the slightest? Is he gonna die to the... He is gonna die to the Blaze, and Talon also going to die. So he will die eventually, but not before, well, slightly before at least he gets the shutdown there. Shogun trying to run away now. Has quite a bit on Repel still. Wow! Wow! Not very much HP.
At least determined not to die, Trundle closes the door with a pillar and ensures that Xin Zhao is not going to commit Spider Side today. Chavez Obama now, stun, silence, everything bad happening to him at once. FatMii 2 Heavy's team taking back the windmill. Annie by herself was just not enough up there. Trundle, extreme amounts of delay and durability, and that's one of the things that character is the best at. In the bottom lane, Corvel's Annie is heading down to the bottom, wants to gank. Goldjet, what? No. Goldjet, why?
I think he misclicked his ultimate.
Man or Goldjet?
Is coming down.
He's so cool, he doesn't need an ult.
He was gonna die. He was definitely gonna die. So Talon does get the kill. I feel like that ult was not exactly what he intended. Stun on Talon there, and a lot of damage from Tibbers and the Incinerate. I anticipate an Annie ban next game. I'm just gonna lay that down.
Trundle is kind of like Thor now, showing up at points. Z's Shogun up the top being defeated, unfortunately. FatMii airborne on him, enabling more damage. MK's chasing, but cannot quite close the distance to finish him off. And FatMii is going to recall.
They probably could have, but it's just not worth it.
Yeah,
just
you want the tower.
capture point instead. Yeah.
Exactly. That's a great example, Rheingold. Thank you for bringing that up. Is that they could have gone for that kill on FatMii, but instead they decided to dedicate that time instead to capturing the point, because the point is more important. FatMii had to leave regardless of whether he was dead or recalling. MKH.
That was a lot more damage than I expected.
Was that a Pyroclasm cancel from the Repel?
Yeah, it does. It does.
That was very good for Elise. Morals initial airborne by Chavez. Defensive garrison activated on the tower. Explosive cast there. That one far more effective than the previous. Chavez Obama by himself on the point. Chronic Angina, you can't stop the Trundle.
Stopping Trundle is pretty difficult indeed. Stopping a Trundle plus a Gragas is near impossible, even if you do own the point, as long as Trundle's the one tanking. And this is going to be the windmill going back to FatMii. I want to say the fourth time that it's exchanged hands this game, but they're still very, very behind on points right now, 131 to 349. They need to not lose the windmill too many more times.
Yes, ma'am, Shazam, you are late to the party. There's no Ben space time. We banned it. Lurch up to the top point here, has to cross the whole map on foot. Gonna take control of this point. Maybe. I don't know if he can get the neutral off before Elise shows up, unfortunately.
I don't think he can, but at least not using the repel. He's actually gonna stop Bottle Spiderling. Probably would have hit before anyway. 4 members right now of Cheese Enema are top right now. There is the knock-up onto almost everyone. They're actually getting knocked up. Talon gets stunned inside of the Shadow Assault with the Incinerate, and he is very good against Talon. There's the stun just out of range for Brand, and that was huge because it allowed him to get the Pyroclasm off. And Trundle using his ultimate on Brand, but Elise is falling.
It's a very good stun from Annie there in that engagement, being able to tag both them. Chronic and Gina now retreating from the fight. FatMii running interference, but getting interfered with himself as the entire enemy team does all the damage to him freely, as Chronic and Gina is in a completely different place. I felt like they were going to team up there. That was going to be Glacial Prison into Trundle Disaster, but was not meant to be. Trundle partially closing the door. Tipper's working his way around. Corval with a stun, pursuing Trundle. Now, Corval does have a Blackfire Torch. He can chip away at Chronic and Gina, given enough time.
So Gragas is able to 1v1 Diana in the bot lane, but Diana, with the revive, going to be able to stop and neutralize even. So that's not all too helpful for them. Definitely a good thing if your bot laner can win a duel 1v1, but not quite enough to save them just yet. Is that a Crescent Sweep from Xin Zhao? Yeah, that was just a Crescent Sweep from Xin. Not all too effective. I really want to see it. They do have a Bulwark, actually. It's on Trundle. It's just not with them yet.
FatMii found by Lurch. He's going to get zoned away by that Pillar of Flame. Cheese Enema is in a good position to take home this game. As long as they can defend for the next push here. If they handle the next push well, then I think that they'll be solid. However, the bottom point keeps getting chipped progressively lower and lower, and Gragas just keeps feeding minions into it. Xin
Yeah.
Zhao, though, I'm scared for you, Xin Zhao. MKH has to retreat, but unfortunately, FatMii and Chronic Angina are just extremely durable. Moral Sinistral's Talon shows up, and they send Xin Zhao all the way back to base. And now it is Annie and Brand, 2 AP champs by themselves. They have a lot of AoE damage. Annie's is available. Brand's also. We'll see how this plays out. Pyroclasm gets fired off. Good bounces on the Pyroclasm. Annie is dead, unfortunately. They need someone up there to keep the tower firing. Glacial Prison! And they are going to get forced off of the point. Cheese Enema losing control of the windmill. Shav is doing everything he can to try and get over to Z Shogun to interrupt it, but Z Shogun looks like he is going to get the neutral. Chavez wants to maybe secure a kill on FatMii, but FatMii's too far away. Tries to go for the interrupt instead. Can't quite do it. Brand on his way up. The minions would have kicked that over anyway if Brand had arrived a couple seconds earlier. He still would have had that to deal with. And now they're in a... This is an icky situation to be in. FatMii's team is in control of the point. They have turned around. FatMii can come back from this, but it's going to be difficult for them. But now they're in a situation where they can do it.
So good repel by Elise, just buying another couple seconds for her team to get there. There's Xin Zhao. Jelly's actually just going to die immediately to Annie. So much burst from her there. Ray comes across. There's a Pyroclasm going to melt through everyone's HP bars. No problem whatsoever. Melting through FatMii, and Angina probably going to fall pretty soon. Also, it's hard to kill Trundle, but 4v1, it's not that hard to kill Trundle.
And they're going to turn the point around. Diana's still kind of having trouble here, but the point is still controlled by Cheese Enema's team, even if it's only by a pizza slice's worth of capture. The reveal from Diana from the Hextech Sweeper reveals that Gragas is there. Gragas has to back away.
It looks like Annie is on the way for a gank, but Gragas is going to go ahead and recall. Talon is in the area, could go for a counter gank if the gank happened, which it of course is not. Oh no, Annie, don't get caught recalling. Glacial Person misses. That's actually huge. FatMii not having that cooler anymore. And Annie just does so much damage. Shadow Assault comes down, Talon is going to die, and there is probably going to be the kill onto drawing the burn from Black Red Torch is enough. Elise comes down. Xin Zhao actually going to go aggressive. There is Jarvan coming in also. Gragas, meanwhile, does get the shutdown onto Annie. Is it going to be enough? Explosive cast knocks everyone away. Giant trying to get what damage he can onto Xin, but Xin heals for quite a bit with his W.
Ooh. Diana tagging with that Crescent Strike. Could have followed it up. Did not need to, though. Very good landing that. Z Shogun by himself over at this point. He knows everyone's coming from him. Sends the Spiderling over there to kind of kite or ward off. Gets the stun on Krowog.
Good stun. With the kill, going to die immediately as he comes back from Repel. 10 Gold Jet, get out with a body slam. Almost gets the kill onto Xin. Is the knock from the... No, it's not. It's Xin lifesteal.
The lifesteal from the minion, saving MKH in the bottom lane. Shavaz Obama in a bad position against FatMii Moral Sinistral. MKH has healed up a little bit. He is going to dive into the fight. Wants to go for Talon. Is able to secure the kill. Lifesteal keeping up for a little bit longer. Now FatMii burning from Annie. And FatMii will lose to Annie if they get into a prolonged exchange because of that Blackfire Torch dot damage. FatMii, don't do it. FatMii, don't do it. Don't do it, FatMii. Glacial Prison! But no one to follow up on that, and Diana picks up the tower anyway.
I don't like that use of Glacial Prison at all. They need to actually secure a point, and that was only going to delay a capture for a little bit.
Yep,
They
he just
still
threw
have a few
that
seconds
Glacial
left.
Prison.
And if they can't capture a point before Glacial Prison comes up, then they're not going to be able to capture another point at all.
I think everyone has had one bad R key this game so far. Z Shogun being stunned, Coraville bringing Chronic Angina onto the point. Chronic Angina just really having none of that. Closes the door on J4. Z Shogun taking a lot of damage. Brand winning that engagement. Oh, good Pyroclasm by Lurch. FatMii being taken down. Lurch turning his attention towards the other guys over there on the point. Shavaz Obama able to take them down. And Cheese Enema, I think, has this. Yep. Cheese Enema is going to take game one.
Yeah, they're absolutely going to take game one. And I said several times I expect there to be an Annie ban. Brand has been doing so much this game. He's, I think,
wow, Gold Jet completely denied at the end of that game.
Every single Pyroclasm that Brand had, I believe, hit every single bounce, and just so much damage from those dual AP burst mage comps. I remember 2 weeks ago when we were casting, there were several team comps that had Brand Annie, and I said, I really want to see the Annie Bear stun into Pyroclasm, and we never got to see it because Brand was never fighting in the same fight as Annie. This game we got to see it, and it was deadly.
It was a great way to start a forest fire. So you want to... I'm really glad that the jungle is very sparse in this game. Take a look at the post-game lobby here. Just take a look at all of the items that were made. Seeing an actual complete Lightbringer. That's something we don't see. We don't see them go all the way to Lightbringer too often, which is pretty nice. And take a look at the graphs. Let's take a look at Damage Delta Champions. Who is out in front? Annie leading the charge, 37k. Zin's out a little bit behind with 35. And significantly ahead of Brand with only 30k. Now let's go down to find out who the Graveyard Hero of this game is. The Graveyard Hero of this game is going to be... Talon. Graveyard Hero Talon, 280. We're going to bring this final game, potentially, next, because if Enema wins this, then Enema wins the tournament. If FatMii wins this, we go on to a game 3, and we're going to throw to a we're gonna Glacial Prison into a commercial real quick, and then we will bring you the next game.
Did you just say we're going to Glacial Prison?